For nearly 30 years, Teymara has helped thousands of people break free from emotional barriers, unhealthy patterns, trauma, and self doubt, guiding them into clarity, confidence, and purpose. She's worked with everyday individuals, high profile figures, and entire communities, from emotional eating and relationships to trauma healing and life direction. But what truly sets her apart is her holistic approach, blending intuition with practical life strategy to create lasting change. Today, like every month, we've got Teymara back on the channel to give us an overview of the upcoming month of March 2026 and to talk about everything, all the current events that are happening in our world over this past month of February 2026. So take a moment to relax and let's talk with Teymara. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Esoteric Atlanta. Of course, my name is Bryce, and I'm joined today with one of my best friends in the entire world, Teymara, who's
Oh,
down in Australia. So we're also Esoteric Australia as well today.
yep.
And
Hi, guys. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm so excited. I've got to get through all of this March stuff because all of the information that I've got, it's like I've been following absolutely everything. And thank you to Sharon in the UK. She's been sending me through a whole lot of stuff. It's like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's starting and it's happening. It's
I'm
happening.
And you guys, I want to say too a big thank you to everybody for being patient. All of us, it seems like all of us in this community have been sick this month.
Yeah.
And I think we
Yeah.
were just saying offline. So I know my schedule's been weird. I think you guys are being super patient. We rescheduled a bunch of shows. And Tamara and I were just saying, I think, this is such a big month. And I think we've been going nonstop for 6 years now. And the fact that
Yep.
this month is the biggest month, I think our nervous systems just kind of relaxed a little bit. And that's why we've been kind of that happens a lot, right? People go on vacation, they get sick. The minute your
Yep.
body is able to kind of detox a little bit. And so I think you
Yeah.
guys are being super patient. Now, here's the thing, too. So as you're watching this, I don't know. So it depends on how this loads up. I'm going to try to keep this on YT because YT on my channel has been actually allowing us to upload scandalous will say videos. But if by chance, you guys, it doesn't, and I won't know because we're pre-recording, I won't know until I go to upload. If by chance it doesn't, I will have the introduction part on YT and there'll be a link below. Actually, there won't be a link below because they won't let us link to RUMBLE. But I'll put a note in the video if I have to put the other half over on RUMBLE. But hopefully we'll be able to get the whole thing on YT. I feel like that's important because there's a lot of people right now in the midst of just waking up and they don't know about RUMBLE. And so I do feel like it's very important for some of us to have some presence on YT to help those people. But I know Teymara will also have this on her channel on RUMBLE as well. I hope that's not confusing, guys, but we're trying to work as best we can with the algorithms, with these platforms to get this information out to whoever wants to hear it. Does that make sense, Teymara?
Yes. But then again, like I've got Moon and Midheaven in Aquarius and you're in Aquarian. So, like, what makes sense to us may not make sense to others,
Makes sense
Bryce.
to us. It makes sense to us. Yeah, and
uh, us two airheads. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I also want you guys, if we might have a lot of new people who are here. So Teymara, let me just show them your website quickly for our new subscribers. We love our new subscribers. If we love our old subscribers too, but welcome to the new ones as well. I am going to bring up Teymara's website. So for our new subscribers, if you are not familiar with this beautiful woman, I'm going to put all of her information down below. This is her fabulous website. Barton does such a good job with your website, Teymara. So if
Oh,
you
look, he's an absolute doll. He's an absolute
absolutely.
doll. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so if you want your chart done, I would highly recommend it. But if you want your chart done, you go here and you book, that's also overseas. So that's most of my, it's pretty self-explanatory if you want a
Yeah.
private session with Teymara. So all that's going to be down in the description box below. So you can bop on over to her website. And if you are watching this on YT and you're not familiar with the backup platform, as we call it, which I cannot say the name because still, even though YouTube is being better about allowing us to put scandalous stuff up, they still don't want us mentioning any backup platforms. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
RUMBLE. That's the platform, the green platform, RUMBLE. If you go to RUMBLE, you'll find my channel there, same name. You could go ahead and subscribe to that. I put a lot of stuff there as well. And also Teymara. And I will put on the copy I have on, well, no, because you'll already be, anyway, just find Teymara's name.
Yeah,
On
just
RU.
find it. Yeah.
I wish I
And
could.
if you follow me, you'll get messages every week, because every week you get a free you get a free update. I do a free weekly update for people. And then,
Yeah.
of course, the monthly that we do, that Bryce and I do every month, it's like that is also free.
Yeah.
So,
That's all free. Yeah.
yeah,
And also,
it's free. It's, yeah.
and I'm gonna also, one last thing before we get into it, before I forget. You guys, I am on Substack now, and I really like Substack. Substack is kind of like X, a little different. But the reason why I like Substack, you guys, is I know so many people complain that they're not getting notified when videos drop. That's something I can't control that. Tomorrow, control that. That is something that the platforms control. And a lot of people don't get notified. But with Substack, here's the thing, you guys, if you go down below and subscribe to my Substack, every single time a video drops, I personally will send out a notification to everyone subscribed to my Substack with a direct link to the video. So it goes directly into your email. That's a way for me to be able to contact you and kind of go over the system, the platform, in order to let you guys know that a new video is here.
Okay, I need to learn about Substack, don't I?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's easy. Listen, Tamara, if I can do it, you can do it. It's so easy. Barton could probably do it.
Oh, no. This here, no, it's not technical.
Yeah, no, I thank you to
No.
Paula. Our friend Paula was the one that was like, I'm gonna do this Substack thing. And I looked at it and I was like, this is amazing. I can actually notify our community because YouTube doesn't do that when I drop videos most of the time, won't notify. And so, and I
Yep.
can't control that. And so this is a way I can notify. And before, should we talk about Ricardo's book quickly tomorrow before we forget?
I think we'll do it like at the end, because
Okay.
we've got a whole lot of stuff to do with like everyday stuff, like to do with the countries and stuff at the end. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
think we got everything, all the pleasantries, the housekeeping into it. So I'm getting to my March. As you guys know, I always take notes. Unfortunately, this month I was so sick this month, and I was so out of it that I was like, here are my notes from last month, guys. You can see all the scribble. I usually can go back and look at dates and say, yes, this happened. But I was telling Teymara, I've been so out of it that I know things that have happened, but I don't remember what days they happened. So
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like, how are you feeling now? Are you a lot better?
I was pretty rough. Monday was pretty rough for me. And yesterday I had a spiked fever Monday and a spiked fever yesterday. And I think that that's a good sign. I think it's the last little, I'm not coughing as much as I was. I think
Yeah.
it's the last little bit that's just burning itself out. So yes, I am. How about you? How's your voice?
Oh, like it's fine. It's like, 2 days ago I had no voice.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so that's just part and parcel of my life, and it's been like that. I think it's been about the last 2 years, isn't it, that my voice would go
In and out. Yeah.
and then it would come back and then it would go and then it would come back. But it's like there's this really great healer guy that I see now, and he said, they're taking your voice away. They do not want you talking. And I
Yeah.
said, well, obviously they don't want Bryce talking either, because yeah. And he
What was
said, go on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Absolutely agree too. Because a lot of the with the Epstein emails, a lot of concerning things that I think you and I have been speaking about when it even comes to like truthers and
Yeah.
controlled opposition have been exposed. We were right. It's been exposed in the emails. And so I think that doubly kind of pissed them off that
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's going to take a whole lot more to take us down. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
as we say in the South,
Absolutely.
bless their hearts. Bless their
Yeah,
hearts.
their hearts. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then we just do the Jessie prayer every night.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
like
every
I do that every night now, like without, I do not miss a night. I
yeah,
do not miss a night because we really have to, because they're just losing their shit at the
yeah,
moment, like really, really big time, because they know that it's up. They
for
know
sure.
they know that their time is up, and it's like they are, yeah, but you can feel it. I don't know, like if you've experienced it, Bryce, you can feel their energy,
Yeah,
like around you, and they're there's like a lot of them are screaming.
yep,
Yeah, you can hear these screams, but there's nobody there that's actually around anywhere that's screaming. You can just hear these screams.
yeah.
And
They're pissed.
yep, they're pissed. They're really, really pissed. And the venom that's coming out. But it's like, you guys, God warned you. God warned you. God warned you. And then, of course, we've got the people on the planet that are, they just change.
Yeah.
They'll be reading the news, and all of a sudden they'll have a pixelated face,
Yes.
and you go, well, that's really, really interesting. I mean, we've seen plenty of those. So, and this is saying to us, this is real. This is real, where people would go, oh, come off it. And it's like, no, it's real. It's real. They take on our human form, and they appear human to us and everybody else. However, they're not. They're not. They've just taken on a human form.
Yeah.
So interesting. Right. So, okay, March of 2026, the month of death and transformation, in the year of new beginnings. So I said in February, it was a triangle, right? That
Yeah.
was really, really predominant for the month of February. And of course, when you look at the triangle, you've got your solid base. And then once that base, the foundations are all in place, then all of the communication could come out, because everything has all been, it's there, and everything is all in solid, that solid foundation is there. So what did we experience in the month of February? Oh my God. Communication, 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 communication. So everything with the media came out
Yeah.
with that February energy. Now, today is the 27th. Tomorrow is the 28th. We've got a huge alignment. Now, everybody won't be seeing this on the 28th, but just when you do see it, you'll go, oh my God, that's why. That's why I experienced that on the 28th, if you don't already know. So we've got this huge lineup of a lot of planets. And that's like really, really interesting. Very, very interesting that it's also happening right at the end of February, which is all about the communication, and all of the truth is coming out. So it's the start. Little did I know at the time when we did February overview, and I was talking about the communication, and it's all of this communication. Well, it all came out. It was the start. It's the start of the communication. And now we move into the energy vibration of the death and the transformation. So then we have to look at everything and go, well, look at everything that is dying, that is ending, that's ending around us, and it's already started, and we haven't really got into the March vibration as yet. Now, I did get that something quite significant will occur around the 9th of March. Then, now the planets that are going to line up, which is tomorrow, the 28th of February, it's the 6th. 6 planets. We've got Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, all lined up, and it's like it is pretty full on energy. And then on the 21st, the sun is actually going to move into the sign of Aries in the month of March. Now, the first sign, and it's the first sign of the zodiac. So many see this as the beginning of the new year, not the 1st of January.
Right.
So as I've said before, the 1st of January was the beginning of the made up new year. Then we hit the 17th of February, which was then the Chinese New Year of the fire horse. And then when we actually move into the Aries energy, on the 21st, when the sun moves into Aries. So what we're going to have double fire. We're going to have double fire that's going to then activate the rest of the year. So we've got double fire in the year of power. I love it. I absolutely love it. So when planets line up like this, they're either going to shake the living daylights out of people or bring a state of bliss. And what I got through is that it all depends on if you're awake or not.
Yeah.
So people that are fully awake and that are fully with the God energy vibration and connected with Jesus, it's like it's going to be bliss. It's going to be bliss energy. But the thing is, for people that aren't awake, it's like this alignment is going to shake the living daylights out of them. So we'll just wait and see what happens. So people that are saying that they're awake, and that, you know, that they are very aware of absolutely everything, and they're really not, it's like they're going to get a shock with this as well. So it's going to be a very, very interesting day tomorrow, Bryce. All right. So the 1st to the 19th, there will still be a very big pull of energy in regard to religion on the planet. And then from the 20th until the end of the month, expect the fire horse energy to erupt, as that's when fire will meet fire. Anything could happen. And I got big explosion. So just be aware of that. Okay. So the 1st to the 19th, still this religious pull that is actually taking place. But once we move out of that and we get into around that 21st energy, the 20th, then things are going to really start firing up. I'm also getting a lot of unresolved issues for people on the 1st and the 2nd. So I think this is going to be occurring on the 28th. It's going to be bringing up a lot for people, and then they'll have a lot of unresolved issues. So that means that the first 2 days of the month of March, they're having to really deal with whatever it is that surfaces. Because like the thing is, I say to people, and I think Trump has also said this: they can run, but they can't hide.
Right.
And this is what happens when you have unresolved issues, that you can run, but you can't hide from them. And now it's like, and you may have been able to suppress or put on a face that everything's fine and you really got your act together, when in actual fact you haven't got your act together. So this is when they're going to hit. And I also feel that a lot of people that have been out and they've been doing, they've been being podcasts and they've been giving information out to people, this energy is going to knock them for a 6 if they have not been in the real energy of truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got a lot through in regard to this month, because you've got to be aware of a lot of people. You're going to be changing. You're going to be walking away from a lot of people, and you'll also be walking away from a lot of podcasts that you've been listening to as well. So it's very much for the soul energy vibration, and people will be connecting with people that are on the screen that are coming from their heart.
Right.
And they will then be pulled more into like listening, because the heart energy, and it's not so much about what people say, it's the energy that you're picking up from them. So you'll actually experience healing. You'll experience healing from the screen, from beyond the screen. So it's about the soul of the individual that is presenting the information. Now, on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, drawing a line in the sand energy visits all of us, followed by erratic energy on the 6th and the 7th. So watch your communication over those 2 days, the 6th and the 7th. Okay? 3rd, 4th, 5th, drawing the line in the sand. Enough's enough. Okay? Enough is enough. Unresolved emotions will surface on the 8th and the 9th, which is really interesting, because what I got through was that something significant will occur around the 9th. So here we are down here, unresolved emotions will surface on the 8th and the 9th. So what it's going to be, I don't know, but there is so much coming out about the children. And I mean, that is absolutely just like amazing. And then Erica rang me today and she said, oh my God. And I said, what, E? What's going on? And she said, I was just walking past the television, and she said Monday night at 9:00 on Channel 9 in Australia, they're doing a big documentary on Epstein. That's mainstream media, Bryce. Unbelievable.
I will say though, I follow some of the Australian news agencies. Your news agencies in Australia are way more honest, if you can even say that, than the American. They're way more,
Well, what we've got happening is we've got Sky News,
yeah.
and like lefties losing it.
I love that. I love her. That the girl who does that, she's hysterical.
She's like, isn't she amazing?
So
She's
funny.
absolutely amazing. Yeah. So they're coming out with a lot of things, and they're also doing a lot of exposure in regard to Australia here with our political scene.
Well,
So like,
with the
pardon?
ninth, speaking of Australia, with the ninth, I have in my little calendar here that the ninth is Commonwealth Day.
Oh, really?
I have that blocked here in my, it's like written right there in my, so for Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, that this is Commonwealth
Oh,
Day.
holy shit. Well, I've never celebrated Commonwealth Day. I didn't even know there was a Commonwealth Day, but that is amazing. That's
So,
amazing with everything that's going down in Great Britain at the moment, which is
and
the
in
Commonwealth,
Alberta.
like the head, and Alberta, the head, yep.
So,
So let's get into that in a little mini,
yeah, yeah.
okay? So the 9th, okay. Something significant will occur around the 9th.
I'm gonna
And here
actually
we are here.
take a picture of it.
Unresolved emotions will surface on the 8th and the 9th. And then it's got with overpowering energy on the 10th and the 11th. Ooh, okie dokie. Attention to detail will be important on the 12th, 13th, and 14th. With the 15th and the 16th, visits. Oh, okay. With the 15th and the 16th, the 15th and the 16th pays you a visit with a take it easy energy. However, things will be explosive on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And then it says continuing on the 20th and the 21st, when force will be added to the mix. Oh, holy shit. Right. So huge explosive energy. And then force will be added to the mix on the 20th and the 21st. Okay. See, guys, the way I do this is that I go through and I put all of the information down of what's going on, and then I just say to spirit, okay, tell me the story. So I've got the dates and then they tell me the story, but I don't read back through it. I just sit there and I type it all up and then I print it off and then I sit here. So this is me just reading it for the first time. Okay, so a serious undertone will surface on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th with a step back that will be required on the 25th and the 26th regarding humanity. Okay, so a step back on the 25th and the 26th regarding humanity, and serious undertones will surface on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Right. And then as the 27th and the 28th brings the religious energy back. All right. Okay. All right. So that's the 27th and the 28th. We're going to have some stuff that's going to come up again in regard to the religion. Brings the religious energy back. However, okay. All right. However, if handled correctly, the 1st to the 19th, then this will be a God sent couple of days before the powerful energy comes to the fore on the 29th, 30th, and 31st. Does any of that make any sense, Bryce?
Yeah, it just sounds like to me that people are going to be going through some people are going to be going through a dark night of the soul. Because I
Yeah,
know when I think about religious energy, I think about that as the obstacle to like spiritual energy. Like people have been
yeah,
conditioned to follow a dogma, and now that so
yeah,
much is being exposed in the emails, it's like this dark night of the soul. And I know that every time, spiritually speaking, what tends to happen psychologically is you have this breakdown of what you thought was true, and then all of a sudden you go through this like pushback, if that makes sense, where you want to cling to the false
oh,
again, and then it
yeah, yeah,
pushes
like
again.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah, yeah, because it's like I mean, it was fascinating. Like I was at the hairdressers today, and we're just talking about stuff, and then stuff came up about England, and then it came up about Prince Charles and about Andrew and blah 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 blah. So then I just started, oh well, blah 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 blah. And then one of the girls she's probably around about 27. She goes, "Oh my God, T," and I went, "Yeah, Brit." She goes, I really need to start looking into everything. I need to get a really great understanding of everything. And I went like, yeah. Now the older hairdresser that was there, she's probably in her 60s. It's like it just went straight over her head. She just, yeah, she's just like not awake at all, at all. Yeah. And then the gorgeous girl that does my hair occasionally, it's like she's the apprentice, and she went, oh well, like it's about this and it's about this and it's about this, and I understand this and I know that this is going on and that's going on. She's the young apprentice. So these are, and we've spoken about this before, Bryce, with these young kids. These young people are like they've got it, and it's interesting because Erica was saying that she was listening to something and it was like these kids that were born, and she said, and I'm pretty sure it was like over the last what, probably like the year 2000, or maybe from like 1995, they actually come in, Bryce, with partial memory of past lives. So they come in with knowledge.
yeah.
They're coming in with awareness. So they're just looking at all of this that's going on and they're going, oh yeah, yeah,
This Well, you know what? It got me too. Speaking of King Charles, as you were saying, and I actually just did a show with my members the other day on this. I'm going to pull this quote up on the screen. So, what might be happening too is the collapse of the Church of England.
yeah,
And if we see the collapse of the Church of England, we're also seeing the collapse of divine right, which divine right is a belief that royalty's blood is somehow better than
yeah,
our
yeah,
blood. Here's
yeah,
King James, a very famous quote. So for all the people who think that King James of the King James Bible was a good guy, he was not a good guy. You can go to
Yep.
the Freemason website. It's still up on the Freemason website. He was
Mhm.
a master warlock. He
Yep.
had um proclivity for little boys, and it's
Yep.
all documented because as royalty, they document everything. He was definitely, as we
Mm.
say on YouTube, a PDF file. He was definitely one of those. His mother,
Yeah.
Mary Queen of Scots, was probably one of the biggest Satanists that you will ever see historically. People like to glamorize her because she was executed by Elizabeth I, but she was not someone to be glamorized. She was raised by Catherine de' Medici. I've covered both James and Catherine on my channel, done deep dives, and Catherine de' Medici was considered the Serpent Queen. There were letters written back and forth about how she again had the proclivity to drink certain substances that are red, we'll say,
Yeah.
that come from
Yeah.
children. That was written in
Yeah.
lead that she would. So this is the famous quotes. If you think King James the First of the King James Bible was some holier than thou Christian, how do you explain this quote? The state of the monarchy is the supremest thing upon earth. For kings are not only God's lieutenants upon earth and sit upon God's throne, but even by God Himself, they are called gods. Have you ever wondered why certain families seem to hold power for centuries? Kings, bankers, political dynasties, bloodlines that rise and fall and sometimes rise again. Inside our YouTube membership, we're diving deep into the world of bloodline conspiracies, the history, the symbolism, the myths, and the facts. We'll explore questions like, is power inherited? Is influence engineered? And how much of what we've been told is history versus narrative? This isn't surface level content. Members get extended deep dives, uncensored discussions, historical breakdowns, and live chats where we connect the dots in real time. We look at royal lineages, elite families, secret societies, and separate documented history from speculation. If you're curious, if you like going beyond the headlines, if you want to think critically about power and legacy, join the channel membership today. Click the join button below, because history isn't just about events. It's about who holds the crown and why.
Yeah. So Bryce,
Yes.
what Bible would you recommend that they actually read? Which
People are
one
going
out
to
of
hate this. They're going to hate me saying this. But at this point, my honest opinion, no Bible. Go
Yeah,
with
because
yourself.
we've got all of the books, and they were talking about. I was listening to something the other day, and they were talking about there is there's a really important book that they were like a book in the Bible, which is one of them that is missing.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
missing books are great, but the crux of the missing books, you guys, is basically Jesus is like, you don't need a preacher. You don't need it. You just need yourself. You need to
yeah,
go with it yourself. And that's what I would suggest to people. God doesn't exist in a book.
yeah,
A book is created by man.
yeah.
God is inside of you. That's what was the biggest
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
rule
Seek the kingdom of God. Look within.
within.
You
Yes,
know.
I would
Yeah,
say no
yeah,
books. I would say no
yeah.
books. I would say you don't need another human being to tell you who God is. What were the two laws that Jesus gave? The two laws. Love thy God with all thy heart and love each other as I have loved you. It's that
Yeah,
simple.
that's
And
it.
heaven and
That's
hell is
it.
inside of you. That's it.
Yeah.
So I would say
Yeah. But then I would then say to people, you apply that, but at the same time, trust your gut feelings if you
yeah.
don't get a good feeling about someone, because what we have then learned is that we had we had um we were invaded. We're invaded. So, and we were invaded by some interesting creatures. And so, therefore, on the planet, there are people that look like human beings when in actual fact they're not, which is what I mentioned before about you look at the news and somebody becomes pixelated. Yeah. And you see that their eyes actually change, or hear changes, or hear in their throat changes. Very interesting. Anyway, let's get this march over and done with. So make sure you watch your emotions on the 1st and the 2nd regarding all communication, and again on the 30th and the 31st. The 3rd up until the 30th, arguments figure along with powerful messaging to the world. Whoa. Okay. So that's the 3rd until the 30th. Arguments figure along with powerful messaging to the world. So, of course, if somebody is out there speaking the truth and sending the message out, then we're going to have people that will be arguing against that because they don't want that information out there. So just be aware of that, guys.
Welcome to the last 6 years of our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Like,
to the days about what was it? Welcome to the days of our lives.
Like this is support bus
with
now.
a bit of the young and the restless and the bold and the beautiful chucked in. Okay, now relationships will require a lot of patience and things could get out of hand the 1st to the 26th. So this is to do with all relationships, okay? Oh boy, watch for lying concerning this area of your life, the 27th to the 31st. So again, as I say to people, you must trust your gut feelings all the time. And if you have a feeling that somebody is lying to you, have a guess what? They are.
Yeah.
They are. Action energy could be up and down all month. So if tired, make sure you take time out. Children rule each and every day of this month. Those of you who are awake know exactly what I'm talking about. If you have no idea, then I'm referring for you. Then I'm referring to, you need to wake up and start doing your research. Search Fall Cabal by Janet Oosebard, Oossebard, and her first 10 episodes, and watch them, the first 10 episodes, because if you're not awake, it's like this is time for you to be awake. And if you are listening to this, then you're listening to this for a reason, and it's time for you, those first 10. And then if you want to, then you can listen to the rest of them. Most amazing woman. So ignore this suggestion and you'll live the consequences of what's to come. So, like forewarned is forearmed. It's like if you know, and this with the Epstein files, just listening to what's coming out, listening especially to what's been going on with the children. Please, just get yourselves educated with that, because when all of the truth comes out, that's going to keep you sane.
Yeah.
By you already knowing, it's going to keep you sane. If you don't know, and if people around you don't know, they're going to go cray cray. So expect a lot of references to God and Jesus this month. This is another. Okay, all right. Okay, this month, all of this energy this month is another shove to bring people to God. The more of us who are connected to God and the story of Jesus, the better. Mel Gibson will release his second movie, The Resurrection, this year, the year of new beginnings. So we had the whole of the movie that he did, which I have to say to you all, I haven't watched it. I couldn't watch it.
Which one?
Couldn't watch it. The Passion of the Christ.
Oh yeah, I watched it when it came out back in theaters.
I know it would have. I know me, and me with Jesus, and I just no. I just knew, like, Teymara, don't do it. You're going to be a wreck. But the resurrection, it's like this year. We're going to have it. We're going to have it in the movie theaters this year. And of course, this year is a year of new beginnings. I feel the time of darkness for us all. Well, oh yeah, this is really interesting, because somebody was saying to me, how long do you think that we'll have, the darkness? How many days? I said, like 10 days of darkness. And I went, no. If we have any darkness itself,
Yeah.
It's going to be 3 days.
Well, it's Dark Night of Soul. Yeah. I
It's
have
going to
learned
be 3
about that.
days because remember, Jesus was laid to rest in the stone tomb, and he rose on the 3rd day. So we need to be looking to the number 3 a lot during this year. The number 3 is going to start coming out a lot more. Right, so that's it. That's our March. So those of you who tuned in for that information, there is that information. So
Well,
the month
before we get
the
into
month
it,
of March.
I will post, you guys. I made myself a note for those who are just now realizing that you've been lied to through religion. I will post my older videos on the King James Bible and Catherine de Medici. They will be down in the description box, the link. So you can just click to the link and it will take you directly to that video. And of course, always do your own research. Always.
But
Um,
you'll show the lost books of the Bible. I
oh,
mean,
there's tons of book videos I've done on all the missing books. And I will say too, if you guys are really confused, as far as like knowing God, you don't need a book to know God. You don't need me or another human being to know God. Toddlers who can't even wipe their own butts know God. Like
yeah,
you have that within you. But if you want to really understand how you've been manipulated and lied to,
yeah,
that's when I would absolutely suggest looking at the missing books of the Bible. If you want historical information, I would look at the missing books of the Old Testament. Yeah, so many things, you guys, like Jehovah, the missing books of Noah.
yeah.
No, Moses, the missing books. Sorry, not Noah. Moses, the missing books of Moses. Um, uh, we have information about witchcraft. Jehovah is a demon, the name of a demon, a
Mhm.
high-ranking demon. How many people call God Jehovah? That's done intentionally. That's
Yep.
a high-ranking demon. Yahweh, a lot of people call God Yahweh. That's Moloch. That's another name for
Mhm.
Moloch. So you
Yep.
kind of see why they remove certain books. And the most important book that I would recommend of the missing books of the Bible, if you're going to pick just a few, would be the missing books of Solomon. I don't know why the church still, well, actually, I do know why, that the church still insists on venerating Solomon. Solomon was a Satanist. He worshipped Moloch. The Testament of Solomon, it talks all about that. He participated in child sacrifice. It talks all about that. The reason why David left his kingdom to Solomon and not his older sons was because the older sons had left the religion. They had left the practices, and Solomon was the only son that was out actually still continuing to do the
Mm,
practice. And
mm,
that's why we have the keys of Solomon and the lesser keys of Solomon are two grimoires that are missing books of the Bible. Grimoire is a spell book, and they're still heavily used by the occult. This is
mm.
according to Jesse Zaboter as well. These are heavy spell books used by this Aluma Shmati, as we say on my channel. Okay.
Yeah.
Solomon was Biden. If you look at his political, they talk about the wealthy, wise man, Solomon. No, he was only wealthy because he was taxing the shit out of his people. He was
Yeah.
taking money from his people. Any type of person that came up in the kingdom to challenge him was either killed or sent away. This guy was not a wise, wealthy, he was a Satanist. And this is why
Mm,
the Freemasons want to build the third of Solomon's temple because that's what they venerate as Lucifer. And so
yeah.
I would beg all the people who love God, because here's the thing, in spirituality, everything works off of consent. And so if you're going to church and you're venerating Solomon, then you are consenting to these practices. And
Mm,
so that is really important that we understand these characters in the Old Testament are not good people. There's a reason why they're venerated by the elite. They're not good people. Abraham was selling his own children into, as Sean Atwood says, transportation, human slavery. We have the only one I'm still kind of fascinated by is Samson with his magic hair, because I think that's kind of funny to have magic hair. But most of these people, there's a reason why they became important to the biggest religion in the world, and it's not for good reasons. The Elohim, we look at like Moses as well, the same guy. Moses means dark warlock. That's what the name Moses translates to, is dark warlock. The Elohim means multiple gods. So when we look, we have to invert everything, right? That's what we're learning. So the Egyptians at that time were actually the good guys. You've been fooled. The Egyptians were worshiping one monotheistic God. As far as like slavery in Egypt, as well as the Roman Empire, it wasn't a race that was enslaved, it was a socioeconomic class. So Jewish people were not the only people enslaved, and there were also Jewish people in the Egyptian um, world that also had a lot of power too. So
Yeah.
that's been with our head.
So Bryce, what would you suggest for people to tune into, to look at on your Rumble?
So it's on the playlist. So Rumble doesn't have playlists, but YouTube does. So if you go to it's just gonna you're just gonna see videos. But if you're on YT, go to the Dark Outpost playlist. That's where I have all of my missing books. So the ones that are still left, YouTube has taken a few of them down. But the ones that are still left are still on under the Dark Outpost. But
Yeah.
nothing is gonna mean more. And I'm saying this, guys, I'm a heavy researcher. Todd always makes fun of me. He's like, "That's your private school education. You know how to research." And I'm like, "No, I'm just petty. That's why I'm just petty. That's why, and I'm nosy. That's why I research. I'm petty and I'm nosy." But hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, right? Um,
Yeah.
but I will say, even with my research, don't take what I have to say as fact either. Do your own research.
Do
Read,
your own research. But
read.
then there are people, the thing is that what I'm finding, like with a lot of people that I work with, they go like, look, I'm married, I've got 3 children, and we're going through this and we're going through that. So it's like it's the time factor,
Yeah,
that a lot of people don't have. And I just say to them, if you don't have a lot of time, you can't really get in and do the research. These are the people that I recommend. These are the people that I listen to. And then I'm saying to people a lot lately, and it's my mantra that I say to people all the time: stay away from negative people, stay
yeah,
away from negative information. It's like anyone that is on platforms that are giving out negative information or any form of information that will create fear. It's like they are not from the light. They're not from the light. So they're trying to keep people down into that fear energy. On the back of my t-shirt, it's got faith above fear.
yeah,
And it's amazing. So this month also, it's about going in a new direction, and the new directions are going to lead to a lot of victory. But it's like those false gods,
yeah.
the adoration of materialistic things,
Of other
all of that
people.
all of that all of that is going to be destroyed. And they're saying it's tomorrow, it's this month, it's the month of March, because it's time for a whole new cycle in the world. And it's time for people to have a different attitude about where they're living or how they're living. It's not about living in a mansion, it's about living in a comfortable home, but it's about everybody having a home.
Absolutely.
They're saying it here. This is just so very, very important. And also with relationships, relationships are going to come to a head. People that are in relationships, and I yeah, okay, all right, abusing your partner. It's like if you are in a relationship and that's what you guys are doing, it's like, wake up.
Get some help.
Wake,
Yeah, like
wake up. And especially if you've got children and you are arguing with your partner or abusing your partner and it's going back and forth, it's like you are harming those children, and you'll pay.
yeah.
You'll pay for it. I'm telling you now, you will pay for it. Because another thing that is coming in for this month is that people are going to go through massive rebirth. And another thing that came up is that people that are presenting themselves out there as wanting to make a difference in the world, like sharing knowledge, sharing awareness. Just be very, 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 very careful around it all. Just be careful. Just be careful, because there are a lot of people that are able to, and they've got away with presenting themselves out there in the world and really caring about people, when in actual fact they don't.
Yeah.
And it's all about them gaining power.
Yeah.
Like, well, I want to be the leader, and I want to be the one that's doing this, and I want to be the one that's doing that. And it's like, people are going to wake up to all of that, but we are very much at the crossroads at the moment, and we're just going to have to sit on the fence for a little bit longer and bide our time. But please take care of your health. Please take care of your health. It's going to be very, very important. And also this month, we've got something quite significant that's going to come up in regard to money. And that's going to bring in a big shift and change of attitude. Okay. So that's our March stuff. So for those that I said before, and it was really important that they wanted the information to go to you all in regard to the Bible. And the only person that I go to in regard to anything to do with the Bible is Missy over there in Atlanta.
Who would have thought? I just got pissed off enough. No, I'm serious, you guys, and absolutely, if you don't have time, you're free to welcome. Obviously, you listen to and I'll give you a clue. This is something important. Like, when I'm short on time and I'm listening to a video of somebody else's, if something piques my interest that they say, I write it down, and that's what I look up. So you can be selective. So if somebody says something that piques your interest, like if I said something in that conversation that piqued your, write it down, and that's what you focus on. Another clue I'll give people that really helps with research: lawsuits. Tomorrow, when I first opened my channel, somebody asked me to do a deep dive into the giants. And I don't think that those videos are actually, I think those videos might have gotten taken down. It became a multi-part series I didn't, going into that topic, I was like, I don't know if this might just be more urban legend stuff, but I found so much information. It totally changed my perspective on the giants. And the one thing I discovered in my research as I was digging through everything was lawsuits. And this has been a key thing that I look for in everything I research now, is lawsuits. Because in the United States, especially in the United States, so for all of my friends in other countries who are looking at stuff, look at lawsuits from the United States. Every country's laws are different, but in the United States, all court documents, unless it involves a child, are public domain. So anytime somebody gets sued, anytime, you can look up these lawsuits. And in the discovery of these lawsuits, each side has to disclose information. And when I discovered this, I had found a lawsuit against the Smithsonian. And it was an archaeologist who had sued the Smithsonian for destroying this archaeologist had found all these bones of these giants who are 25 feet tall, sent the bones to the Smithsonian thinking they were going to preserve it for him, help him fund deeper research. And when he got to go get the bones, they had been incinerated. And this is fact. This is in the lawsuit. This is what happened. And the defense of the Smithsonian was it had to incinerate the giant bones because its main purpose was to preserve the narrative. What narrative are we talking about? Evolution. So if they admit that there are giant bones all over the world, then obviously evolution is bullshit. And so I'm telling you guys, because people ask me all the time, how do you research? How do you research? How do you research? And it does take time because you're following breadcrumbs. But the biggest hint I can give you guys, if you're looking for anything having to do with history or the truth, look at lawsuits in the United States. I don't know about other countries. Other countries might have different laws around it, but in the United States alone, you can find these lawsuits. And you can read them.
Erica and I were talking about this the other day as well, and she said, you know what? She said, this race actually landed and said, oh, no, we can't have these giants. So just wipe them all out. Wipe them all out. Kill them all.
It's wild. And the Diets are heavily spoken about in the missing books of the Old Testament. We do see references to them in the canonized Bible, but they're
Yeah.
heavily spoken about in the Old Testament as well. They're not,
Mm.
a lot of people think they're the Nephilim. They're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were just like us, but bigger. Like we're
Yeah.
ants compared to them. So
Yeah.
it's just fascinating and it opens up a whole lot. I will also say too, look at, if you really want to understand, like in my channel, we are doing memberships now where we're going deeper into blood types and bloodlines. So
Mm.
look at different bloodlines, like look at the fact that every antigen creates a different reality. Like where does that come from? The elite love Rh negatives. I'm an Rh negative. A lot of our people watching are Rh negative. So look at like why they think. Right now we're doing this on a membership is Bloodline of the Gods. Now I don't believe some of this stuff. I question now because of our interactions with Lou, but it's important to go through because this is why you guys, this is why James thinks he's a god. Is
Mm.
because of certain, when they say bloodline, they're not talking about just a family. They're talking about O negative specifically, is what they're talking
Yeah.
about. And so
Yeah.
start researching these things. Now I'm gonna reiterate too that just because you're Rh negative, I'm Rh negative, a lot of people are in our community does not mean that you believe what they believe or that you're bad. And it's been very scary, Tamara. One of the saddest things I've experienced when I started to kind of like really question a lot of truthers was I was on Telegram and I saw somebody saying that we need to basically get rid of all children of these elites. And
Wow.
I thought we were supposed to be protecting the children, but it's because they believe that because these children are Rh negative that they're just inherently evil. Well, I'm Rh negative. My mom is my sister is too. I'm not evil. If you believe somebody is evil because of their blood type, then you are no different than somebody who believes a person is evil because of their skin color. It's the
Yeah.
same idiocracy. And so
Yeah.
be careful with that, but it is important to understand that the elites might believe this so that you understand the games they play. But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that every person who is Rh negative believes this or is this way, right? Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So these are just little
Yeah.
things, little tidbits that you can look at that are really important right now. I feel
Yeah.
like really important to understand the reasoning. And one thing I've heard too, Tamara, that drives me insane is that from people who are not awake is they'll say something stupid like, well, I don't believe in Lucifer. And my whole like, I look at them like they're idiots. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you don't believe in Lucifer. They do.
Yeah.
They do. And they do these things because they believe it's their religion. So
Yeah.
we need to wake up and realize just because we would never do something or just because I think it's stupid to prioritize one blood type over another does not mean that other people don't feel like that's we have to like have a little bit more open mind and understand like what we're actually up against.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I want to talk to the people who feel stuck. Maybe you're recovering from an injury. Maybe your knees just don't love jumping anymore. Maybe high impact workouts leave your joints aching for days. But here's the truth. Just because you need low impact doesn't mean you have to settle for low intensity. At Fusion Body Studio, we've created something powerful, our 45-minute low impact chair burn. This entire class is done sitting down, but don't let that fool you. You will sweat, you will shake, you will feel muscles wake up that you forgot you had. This is controlled strength. This is intentional burn. This is training smarter, not harder on your joints. It's perfect for anyone who's in rehab or managing an injury, for people who need less pounding on hips, knees, or ankles, for beginners who want to build confidence, or anyone who wants a sweaty, effective workout without jumping or even standing. And here's what I love most about this class. It proves something powerful. You don't have to stand to be strong. You don't have to jump to feel powerful. You don't have to punish your body to transform it. Movement is privilege, and we honor that. All you need is a sturdy chair and the willingness to show up. If you've been waiting for a sign to start again, this is it. Right now, you can get 20% off your first 6 months at Fusion Body Studio when you use discount code BRYCE20 at checkout. That's 6 months of rebuilding strength, 6 months of protecting your joints, 6 months of proving to yourself that you are not limited, you're evolving. Click the link below and use discount code BRYCE20, BRICE 20, all caps at checkout. Let's burn, seated, strong, and unstoppable. Fusion Body Studio, strong at every stage. Now let's get back to the show.
All right, so we're ready to do our second hour.
Yes, let's get into it.
Oh boy. Okay,
current-
I've mentioned so everybody that's just wanted to know about the March overview, that's all over and done now, and then we're going to get into some interesting things that have been going on the planet at the
Wild
moment.
month, right? This has been a wild month with stuff happening.
Boy, oh boy. So now, before I was talking about the 10 episodes, Fall Cabal, it's just Fall Cabal. So she actually changed the title of it and apologize. Her surname is Uzabard, which is OSSEEBARD. So just like do a search for that and it will come up. I'd highly recommend that you get your act together and do so, as it will totally support you going forward. If you can then follow on with the rest, then that's great. Okay, I would also highly recommend you become a follower of Liz Crokin, LIZCROKIN.net. Now she's she's my star. I say she's our star concerning everything that has happened with children. She was the whistleblower re Pizzagate. Check out of Shadows by Liz Crokin. I think she's amazing, Bryce. That woman, don't you think?
Yeah, she's been through a
She,
lot. She's been through a lot.
she's been to hell and back, hell and back. Now, also, if you're not aware, Vancouver Island headquarters of the Satanists.
Yep.
So that's really interesting, and what
And I
we
know
recently talked about in regard to Canada,
there's
like
some
his
there's some truthers that own property on those islands. Hint, hint, hint.
yeah. So interesting.
Yeah.
Now, also another one that would be a good one to watch is theancientdoor.com. Just checking that one out. Now, on the 13th of February, Trump actually withdrew ICE from Minnesota. If you think ICE was about removing illegals, think again. So that's an interesting one. You know, the ICE were in there. They were actually saving children. They were saving the kids. So how many days of darkness will we have? Well, again, as I said before, Jesus rose on the third day, and that was 3 days of darkness. I said at the time he was crowned that Charles would have a very short reign.
Uh-huh.
So we are looking, and I had said that it will either be his death or an abdication.
Yeah.
So I'm finding that this is really interesting what's going on now. He's put a lid on information, and that information has to surface. After he dies and William takes over, William will expose everything. All deals are off when Charles dies. William takes over and all hell will break loose. Interesting that Diana, if we actually believe that she did die, it will be her 27th year anniversary of her death on the 31st of August, and 2 and 7 comes to a 9. So, and that's the ending of a cycle vibration. William be given the position to do something he has waited so long to do, which is to avenge his mother's death. Again, if you believe that she has died, that is, a lot of people believe that Diana went into protective custody, and she is still around, and she is going to come out very, very soon. I also got that Camilla will fall from her perch, and April is marked for something around her.
So that's already started to happen. She's had titles pulled from her. Her children have been like escorted off of the royal grounds. Just
Camilla?
yeah, just this snippets we hear here in the
Wow.
United States. Yeah, Americans don't really. I mean, some Americans follow the royal family, but most Americans really don't give a don't
Yeah,
know much about the royal family because we don't believe in
yeah,
monarchy. But yeah, what the snippets that I've heard is that that's already started happening. That's already
right.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting, read the Epstein files and the so-called gurus of the New Age movement.
Deepak, Deepak
Yeah,
Chopra. Yep.
yep. And it's called the New Age movement was a great place for egos to hide.
And I'm going to set
So,
this record straight with this. When I studied in India, nobody in India calls this New Age. The New Age belief system is very different from like the yoga. They're
yeah,
opposites. So
yeah,
this New Age system is created by the elites, the establishment,
yep,
right? Like
yeah.
the system. And I really, that's another thing I wish people would research. Read the Yoga Sutras, read the Mahabharata, read the Bhagavad Gita to understand that actual yogic text, the real texts are nothing like I don't know, Teymara, I don't know anybody in the yoga world that actually takes Deepak Chopra seriously. Like when we found out he was in the Epstein files, everybody was like, of course he was. Like we all rolled our eyes. Like nobody in the yoga world likes we all saw him as a
But,
fraud.
but like there's so many, there's so many more. Now, did you see the footage of a young guy that actually went to the airport and Deepak Chopra actually had arrived at LAX and he followed him, he walked with him and he was asking questions and the guy was so polite and Deepak Chopra was so rude, would not answer any questions.
Yeah.
But what he would do is that he would just deflect it back onto this young
Yeah.
boy. And
No,
I
most
went
people in India never do
like,
that.
oh my God. And it's like, and as Trump said, there will be nowhere for them to run to and nowhere for them to hide. So we look toward Fergie. Apparently, she's panicking at the moment and she's gone to ground. And she's either in the UAE, some are also saying Australia with her sister. Fear if she returns, she will be arrested. Interesting. Interesting.
She's
So
worse. Her almost got killed.
if she's done a runner and she because she's in a fear that if she returns to the UK she's going to be arrested. Well, what's that saying? Admission of guilt. If she wasn't guilty of anything, she wouldn't have to run, would she?
Well, according to these emails, she is worse than him.
I
And
know.
he's not and the bad thing, not only are they evil people, but they're not smart people either, Tamara. They're very
No,
dumb. They're
no, they're
very
dumb. Yeah,
like very low
yep, they're
IQ.
dumb. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was talking to like one of I've got a most I have platinum members, and these platinum members they're members with for mine with me for a whole year, and every month we do a direction that the best energy and what to do and how to use it every month, and then they apply that to their businesses. But she's like, this gorgeous platinum member. She's been with me for years, and she's an American. And I was talking about it to her today, and she said, and she spent a bit of time. I think she was married to an Englishman, and she said, I've met them. I've met the royal family, and she said, and the majority of them are really smart people.
Yeah.
But she said, but Andrew.
It's
Oh, she said I wouldn't waste a minute of my time talking to him or being around him. So,
they're
right,
dumb.
and she's
They're dumb.
yeah, yeah. So the royal family are under threat. Trevor Kavanagh, who is the former political editor, stated this. Trevor Kavanagh, the former political editor to The Sun in the UK, that the royal family are feeling under threat at the moment. Now this is also interesting what came up, right? Have you heard of RAINS, RAINS?
Is that a nonprofit?
Okay,
Or
RAINS.
SA victims.
right? Reigns is the same as the Epstein files.
Oh no, no, I don't. That's
Okay,
I think I'm
yeah.
thinking of them.
So so recommended that you look into Reigns, RAINS list in the UK. John Wedger, ex Scotland Yard, was talking about it with Sean Atwood.
It's so funny. I was about to bring up Sean Atwood. I love Sean Atwood. He's one of the people I watch regularly. Is Sean Atwood?
I mean, is that a character?
He's so funny, and
Uh,
he brings on so many people, and he just
have you seen Lauren?
yeah, the insider.
Lauren with him. I love
Yeah,
Lauren.
yeah, yeah,
Lauren the Insider. Yep, I
yeah.
love her. And I love how she comes and she goes, "Hello, insiders." And
Do you know
you go
what
like,
made me laugh?
hello, Lauren.
So
Yeah,
Sean Atwood is
yeah,
he's in the Epstein files, Tamara, because he
yeah,
pissed
he
them off.
said, absolutely. He said, well, I'm in the Epstein files. So there you go. So, just
He was filming
because
outside Ghislaine's house, and so he
that's
pissed
it.
them off. They were annoyed by him, so he that's the only time it's okay to be in the Epstein files, is if you pissed him
That's
off.
it. You've got it. Yeah. So the RAINS, it's the UK Epstein's list. All right, so really interesting. UK government backs release of Andrew's trade roll files. Right, so the government are more happy than to release all of his trade roll files. Still on the UK, Operation Overlord, raisethecolors.org. Okay, now these are these wonderful guys that I've spoken to you about before, that I've got their information. So it's raisethecolors.org, and they're stopping illegal immigrants taking boats from the beaches
Yeah.
of France over to England. Those guys are amazing, absolutely amazing. Starmer humiliated as Trump orders US diplomats to expose UK's migrant crime epidemic. Now, Tommy Robinson. Do you know who Tommy Robinson is,
Yes, I
Brycey?
do. Yep.
Okay, so Tommy and his family have fled the UK at the moment, and they're in the USA, and he's doing lots of media and sharing the state the UK is in. He will return with all of his family for the big rally in London on the 16th of May. And then I've got, Starmer's goose is being cooked well and truly. Katie Hopkins, have you found Katie Hopkins in
Love
your
her.
travels?
Love
Yep,
her.
don't you?
Yep.
Love Katie. Katie Hopkins is staying put in the UK, giving them all Mary hell. She's like a dog with a bone. Love her. UK government tried to scrub an Islamist comments on the internet. However, the short clip was shared on overseas servers, mainly X, where it went viral. So, no matter what those in positions of authority are trying to control us, we are all out there telling and sharing the truth. They are all shitting themselves. Now, regarding Andrew's arrest, interesting, on his 66th birthday, Bryce,
Yep.
with 6 police and
Yep.
6 police cars, and he was arrested 666 days after. Remember that white horse that we had on, and we were talking about it when it ran amok, covered in
Yep.
blood in the middle of London? So his arrest was 666 days from the day where that horse ran amok.
Not
Really
surprising.
interesting. So I've got here,
Surprising.
those who have followed Bryce and myself for ages would remember the footage that was shown of on one of our shows, plus the black and the white horses that made their way down the mall. Remember that? That was like weird. Remember
Yeah.
that one, Bryce?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So then we've got, many are stuck in their logical left side of their brain concerning everything that has and is happening. Let me share with you. All of this is a military operation. Get out of your left brain and tune into your gut feelings. Those feelings that don't make sense, that's where the truth lies. And then it was like, if it sounds like a duck, and it looks like a duck. It's probably a duck. And I love that. Sean Atwood, he uses that one a lot about the duck.
Now, I have a question.
Eve,
Can I ask you about Andrew quickly about what you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to extradite? So the United States does not recognize monarchy. We don't. So if that's why allegedly Harry hates it in the United States because he's not treated like a prince because he isn't a prince here. So
Yep.
there has been a warrant for Andrew's because Andrew is just Andy Mountbatten here. He's just a citizen, or not a citizen. He's just a person here. Now they've had a warrant for his arrest, and the United Kingdom and the United States do extradite, do send people back. But the problem has been, Teymara, that in the UK they do recognize monarchy and you can't arrest a monarchy. And so they haven't been able to arrest Andrew.
However,
Now,
now what's really, really interesting when you look at this, okay, and people are going, oh, they only arrested him because of, he gave like trade secrets, and it's the same with Mendelssohn, so nothing really is going to happen to them. And I go, no, to actually arrest them to do with child sex trafficking, paedophilia, all of that, they have to have witnesses. They have to have them lined up.
Yeah.
So, and the guy from Scotland Yard was explaining that the other day, and he said by them arresting them to do with treason, to do with giving away country secrets, state secrets, whatever, to other countries, they've got them. So they've been arrested for that, but all of the others can then follow.
No, and if people are forgetting that treason is not something that's
no, they can actually, that's life in prison. That's life in prison for treason.
It's still execution in the United States.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
The last time a royal was arrested, Teymara, was 1647.
That's
and
right.
Ended in that arrest ended in 1649 with the execution of King Charles I.
They took off his head.
They took his head off. Yeah. So don't underestimate the power of an arrest. And
that's it. And this is what this guy was saying, this ex-Scotland Yard guy. And he said, oh no, this is working out really great. And they call him, see, Mendelssohn. So they're calling Andrew Andy, and they're calling Mendelssohn Mandy. So in the newspapers in England, you've got Andy and Mandy.
I mean, you guys.
Their sense of humor is amazing. So another thing, on the 25th of February, Putin released a message, and his message was, the Western elites' vampire ball is coming to an end.
Speaking of vampire ball, I just had to share this picture. This is, I think I'm going to make this my Christmas card next year. Like,
I mean, isn't that, but you know what he was doing? He was trying to hide.
Look at that face.
He was trying to hide, so he slumped right down in his seat. And I love Sean Atwood. You know that laugh, that giggle that Sean's got. Look, he was just laughing. He just cracked me up. He just cracked me up.
I'm hoping, this is my hope, is that they will eventually extradite him to the United States, because I'm just going to be real honest with all the Commonwealth nations. Y'all's penalties are not correct. United States, we always laugh, like, if you want to unalive someone, go to Canada, you'll get a week in prison. In the United States, if you want to unalive someone, you're going to be unalive too. And so if we really want justice, we want him extradited to the United States. The United States will fry his ass. Yeah. We don't think that's why.
Let's see what else sort of like came up. Now this came up, and you're just going to love something in a minute. So we've got here, this will be a month where you will move away from everyone who no longer matches your higher vibration. In so doing, you will give them an opportunity to raise their vibration. Those who have had, so they've basically hung around you to suck on your vibration. Yeah. Those who have had insight. Okay, now USA. Congrats to Spencer Pratt, your boy.
I love Spencer.
Your boy Spencer. His lawsuit over the Palisades fire dereliction of duty is allowed to proceed.
He is. I'm gonna pull up. If you guys don't know who Spencer Pratt is, God, if you want to, if God has a sense of humor, and
Yep.
Spencer Pratt, you guys. Sorry, I'm just pulling up a picture right now. Spencer Pratt was this like hellion in the early 2000s in this reality show that he was in called, what was it, The Hills or the OC?
The
What was
Hills. Yeah,
it?
the
The Hills?
Hills. Yep.
And he
Yep.
was the villain of The Hills. And he was hated by America. Now he's loved by America because he is like balls. This guy has balls. Like
Yep.
he is challenging Gavin Newsom like I have never seen before. He is going to Washington. He is getting justice for the California fires. He's even
Mm-hmm.
putting, I think he's even putting his hat in the ring to be the mayor of Los Angeles or something like
Yep.
that. So,
Yep.
and people are like, why don't you just leave California? And he's like, because California is my home. I'm going to fight for it.
That's right. That's
And
right. Yep.
so,
Yep.
round of applause to Spencer Pratt.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So they're saying here that discovery is imminent there to do with him. Like, good on him. Apparently, New York City is now a shit show.
Yep. Literally tomorrow. Literally.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So I'm getting in contact with some friends because what I'm doing is like when I read this information or this information crosses my path, I then, if I know somebody that lives there, I actually call them and I go, okay,
I
so
know
tell me.
people. I can set you up with
Yeah.
some of our viewers here that are right in Manhattan. If you
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. They would be great,
Yeah.
Bryce, to actually interview.
I will
Right.
have I have a friend here. She's an ex or retired. I don't want to embarrass her, so I won't say her name. But she's a retired Rockette. So if you guys don't know what the Rockettes are, they're very
Yep.
famous in New York. They're the kick line at Radio
Yep.
City. And
Yep.
she's right there. I'll reach out to her because she's right there, right there. It's
Yep.
disgusting.
Awesome.
Like
Awesome.
when you vote for communism, this is what you get. You get communism.
That's
And
right.
how quickly it is. Communism has never worked anywhere. I don't know why we keep trying it. It's never worked. And it's amazing how quickly this guy, who is Epstein's son, we just learned this in the
I
email,
know. I know. I know.
the
I
great one of
know.
the greatest cities on earth.
Did you see the pictures of like him with his mother
Yep.
when he was born and then as he got older? I tell you, this is why I'm saying to people you've got to really, really start working on yourself because when all of the truth comes out, it's like you just people are going to be losing their minds. So now I love Cat Williams.
Yeah.
And I also love my Jaguar ride.
Yeah.
All right. So Cat Williams the other day, like this totally cracked me up. So Cat would be informed when Diddy was having one of his special parties, and where all of the gathering to be bussed to the venue. Where all would be gathering to be bussed to the venue. So Cat would actually go to this actual area, and he'd be sitting on the bonnet of a car, right? And he would be waiting for them all to arrive, and he's saying, and they'd all be dressed up, like dressed up to the nines, and they would all think that he was attending, seeing he was there in the car park. And he stated, I was there when they arrived and I was there when they came back, no longer dressed to the nines. With a big smile on his face, he stated, I know everyone who attended and the time they came back to go home. Classic. So he says, I got names, I've got information, I've been there, I've seen it all, and but how he would just go there, Bryce, and just sit
All
on the
the
bonnet.
steel. Like,
Yeah, would just sit there on the bonnet of a car, so everybody would arrive going, Cat, you're here, yeah. So
no.
they all assumed that Cat was going. But he said, I was there when they arrived, and I was there when they were all bussed back. And he said, and they didn't look like they looked when they were first arrived and were bussed off to the house. Classic. So Trump showed the Democrats that some are calling the Democrats in their true light. All right. His State of the Union epic shone the light on them all, showing the world exactly what they are. On this movie, I said, oh, this movie is getting more interesting as every day passes. Democrats showed whose side they're on, and it's not the American people.
It was absolutely at this point, like if you're still voting
Just
Democrat,
like,
I don't even understand at this point. Like
revolting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was revolting.
And that hockey team, they made my day. They made my day over here. That hockey team was absolutely amazing. And the presentation of the medals. And of course, I've got here the Trump show was brilliant as usual. Yeah. But it was also interesting because the guy that got that last goal in, if you call it a goal, his name, Bryce.
Jack Hughes. I'm going to put it up right here. Jack Hughes.
Now, Jack Hughes, he won it. Back in the 1940s, the hockey team, back then, they had the list of all of the guys that were playing. And there's actually a movie that's based on that with the hockey team back in the 1940s. And you see the coach actually cross out a name, and the name that was crossed out was Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
So that for me, I got goosebumps. I went, oh my God. Oh my God. Now something.
I mean, like even with the Canadian team, like something I was telling you, Jack Hughes, his brother Quinn, that's on the team as well. These boys, the American athletes, stayed in the Olympic villages.
Yep.
Canadian team, Canadians, when are you guys going to be fed up? Your hockey team stayed at a 5-star hotel instead of the Olympic Village, and your tax dollars paid for that. Canadians, your tax dollars paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
When you can barely put food on your table, you're spoiled. These spoiled bitches, excuse my language, of the Canadian hockey team, these awful humans, declined the Olympic Village that was provided for them and instead made you Canadians pay for their 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
This kid stayed in the Olympic Village.
Yep. But I loved it how he got his teeth knocked out and he still kept on going.
And
God bless him.
All the moms in America were like, "Oh my God!" Like, you know, and in one of his interviews, he was like, "That's okay. We have great dentists in America. I'll get them fixed. It's fine."
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, also, I nearly fell off my chair today when I read that the Australian government refused taxpayer help for the ISIS brides to return. How about that?
It's interesting.
That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Given the position of the Australian government with all of these people. And then, of course, we've got more and more people in positions of authority are either resigning or stepping down for all sorts of reasons. Now, we've got Larry Summers resigns from Harvard amid investigations into the Epstein files. WEF President Borge Brendy resigns after Trump's DOJ exposed relationship with Epstein. Denmark revokes residency permits for a large amount of Syrian immigrants. The UK Ministry of Defence has launched a review into whether RAF bases were used by Epstein. That was announced through the BBC. Nancy Mace introduces bill to authorise the death penalty for child. Number 10 will have no say on which Mendelssohn papers are released. Norway's ambassador to Jordan and Iraq has resigned after an investigation was launched into her ties to Epstein. Goldman Sachs top lawyer Catherine Remil has announced she will step down from her role after months of pressure over friendship with Epstein. That is also through the BBC. Hyatt Hotels chairman steps down over ties with Epstein. The King Charles Foundation has confirmed that Christina Merrin, CBE, will step down as chief executive after only 3 years in the position. Borg Brend, I think I already said that, the president and CEO of the WEF has resigned. Brad Karp, longtime chairman and elite law firm Paul Weiss Rifkin, Wharton and Garrison, has stepped down because of Epstein links. Celeb doctor People Atia steps down from CBS over Epstein links. World Food Program Executive Director Cindy McCain announces plans to step down from her position.
Good.
Columbia Brain Institute co-director and Nobel laureate steps down over Epstein files. Ties. Chief Executive Jonathan Allen to step down from Channel 4 UK. Mario Ozola to step down as Pirelli Motorsport boss. And Norway's former Prime Minister has been hospitalised due to strain amid a corruption probe into his links with Epstein. And that's me for March.
Well, I want to say I was telling you about Alberta before we signed in.
Yes. Tell us about Alberta.
Oh, I just want to, in honor of Ricardo Bozzi, you guys, and thank you, Ricardo. I just got your book, your signed book yesterday. I can't wait to read it, you guys. So make sure you check out Ricardo Bozzi and this Australia One Party. They have a YouTube channel as well, or excuse me, RUMBLE channel. But our friend Ricardo, as well as myself, loves the Declaration of Independence. And so for Alberta, let's look at that again, because this is exactly what is happening in Alberta right now. Is what they're doing. So let's put it up here. So in the first paragraph, it says, in Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when, and this is the important part, you guys, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the cause which impel them to separate. This is what we're seeing in Alberta right now. We're seeing the exact same thing that happened in 1776, but in modern times. So Alberta, from what I've seen, I'm following this because I'm so proud of you guys in Alberta. The are they called premiers in Canada? And in America, we call them governors. Yeah. Basically, the president.
Premier.
Like the head of a state.
I don't know. I don't know in Canada.
Let us know, Canada, what your title is for the person that runs your state or your province. So this woman, I can't remember her name. She basically has given, her speeches are incredible. I apologize, I can't remember her name. Just like the Italian, she's a lot like the Italian prime minister, where she's basically speaking common sense. And from what I'm understanding, from what I'm hearing, is that Canada is about to turn into a third world country. Like, it is on the brink of turning into a third world country. My heart bleeds for our Canadian patriots, but most Canadians, excuse my crude language, but I'm just going to be crude. Most Canadians are pussies. Not our patriots, not our people. Our Canadians are tough and they want their independence, and we support them 100%. And that's what we're seeing in Alberta. Canada is about to go bankrupt. Mark Carney is ruining that country. Trudeau ruined that country. And this premier, this governor, is basically with a bunch of the Alberta people. Most of the money that Canada makes as a country comes from Alberta. This is where a lot of the truckers came from. It's a lot of farmland. There's oil there. And so Alberta, the province of Alberta, is basically financially supporting Canada. Now, what is Mark Carney doing? As we know, this jackass, I want to punch him in the face so bad. I support all the Canadians that are protesting against him. Round of applause. This jackass is sending all of Canada's money to other countries. He's doing business deals with China, which is causing a backlash with the United States, which we're their biggest customer. And so this woman from Alberta and these Alberta people were basically like, yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. We're gonna secede. We're gonna be our own country. And from what I understand, that's going to happen. They're going to secede from Canada on October 19th of 2026. That's the date that I've seen. Let me know. People, I would love to speak to someone from Alberta. Please contact us if you're from Alberta. We would love to hear it directly from the horse's mouth. But all the video footage I have seen, the state has decided to leave Canada. They don't want to play with Mark Carney anymore. They don't, and this is what makes me so mad, Teymara. This infuriates me. This goes back to the whole divine right thing. If you live in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, or the UK, you are considered a subject of King Charles III.
That's right. Yes.
Human being is a subject. And let's go back to the Declaration of Independence. So this was the main point when they're saying these are the reasons why we're leaving you. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So the very first thing that our forefathers said is, what is that saying? We don't believe in a monarchy. We don't believe King George III back then is any better than we are. This is what Alberta is doing. We don't believe Mark Carney is responsible. We don't want to be a subject of this King Charles III. We are human beings. We're going to arm our, they said we're going to arm our citizens again. You're going to get your arms back, which every human being on the face of the planet should have a pew-pew. That's for your own protection. We're going to be our own sovereign nation. And from what I understand, Canada, and a lot of people have laughed at this, have threatened to invade Alberta if they do pull away. Well, first of all, the Canadian government, they can't even define what a woman is. They have period supplies in the men's bathroom at the military. Like that, you really think the Canadian military can win against Alberta? Like, are you kidding me? But on top of that, the United States said, hold my beer. If Canada invades, we will support you, Alberta. We will send the American military to fight the battle with you. So you fucked up, Mark Carney. And again, I'm not talking to our awesome Canadians who live in Ottawa and in Ontario and all.
Well, have a guess what, Bryce? They can always leave.
They can leave
the states that they're living in, and they can all go to Alberta to live.
Yep,
absolutely.
So I am so proud of Alberta.
Yep.
And I know a lot of Canadians that are not in Alberta are supporting Alberta and want to do the same thing. Yeah. And it's funny about the hockey with, all of these people are like, oh, well, the Canadians played a better game. They should have won the hockey game. Well, they didn't. The Americans won. Well, funny thing, in 1776, who had the better military? Great Britain did. But who won? The Americans.
The Americans.
So, Canada, I'm proud of you, Alberta, but to our Canadian patriots, take your country back. The Americans will support you. Write a Declaration of Independence. When it comes to time and course in history where we have to, dissolve political alliances, King Charles III, thank you, but no thank you. We are sovereign people. We are not your subject. I mean, that pisses me. It pisses me off so much, Teymara, that the Commonwealth people, that your taxes have been going to support this inbred family.
That's it. You've got it.
Who do these people think they are? Like,
I know.
My hope is for all Canadians, all Australians, all New Zealanders, all South Africans, all British people, Scottish people, Northern Ireland. My hope and prayer is that you get rid of a monarchy, because you do not deserve that.
Well, I think the thing is, Bryce, from what I can understand and what I've gathered from everything that I've been looking at and going into in regard to this crisis, is that is that it will actually be gone.
I
It
hope
will,
so.
it will be gone.
It
And the
can.
thing is that if you can see that, like what's being pulled away in regard to Andrew. So Andrew, whatever, and then it's like then Fergie and then their daughters. So they're talking about the girls
Oh, the girls
also.
are in the Epstein files too, y'all.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the girls, it's like they will no longer be princesses, and then you're looking at Princess Anne, and Princess Anne's daughter has refused a royal
Yeah.
title, refused it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she wants to actually work in making a difference in the world, and she doesn't want a title. She doesn't want to be
You should
a part of all of that. So they're all going to just be
solve it.
all dissolved, all just pulled away. So it's being done in this, and as we know, and as Trump has pointed out to us, and also through Q has also pointed out that it's like that everything is being done step by step by step by step by step, and it's all being dismantled. Like everything is being dismantled. So now it's like it's into England, and it's now the dismantling of that then they can show it to the world. Now a lot of that may have already happened. I believe that it already has happened. Like we know a lot of things in America that is being presented now has already taken place. And and somebody said to me, like, how can Trump be so blasé about everything? And I go, well, have you ever thought that maybe it's already taken place, and it's all played out, and now what they're doing they're now presenting it to the people, and they're blasé about it because it's already happened.
Yeah.
So, it's like it's very, very interesting, but I can see the actual downfall of the monarchy. Absolutely.
And
And
they're
like I said, in regard to Charles, when he was first crowned, and I went, short reign, will either die or will be forced to abdicate. Yeah.
and William's not in he's not in the Epstein files, which I was actually surprised he's not in there. But I will say Canadians, we have to give consent. So if you boycott your government, and if you start to actually make and you say you don't want this, that these are boundaries you're putting up in your life, and you want to make Canada great again, and you want to bring sovereignty back to the people, I promise you, as hard as that might be to go against the grain, you're going to get the support of
Oh,
America.
absolutely.
And I'm
Absolutely.
sorry, you'd have to be
Yeah.
an idiot not to know that we're the strongest country in the world. We have the strongest military in the world. And even if the American military, for some reason, didn't support you, you best believe, Canada, that your neighbors down south, you know how many Americans would come up and help you with their arms?
Yeah,
How many
absolutely.
would
But
come up and help
the
you?
thing is, Bryce, when you look at that land mass, it's all one land
Yeah.
mass.
Oh yeah, we're
Like
in the
like
same land.
like
Yeah.
hello, it would be like somebody would come along to Australia and would slice off a piece of Australia like Queensland and say, well, this is now another country. Like,
It is.
excuse me, no, it's not.
Well, and look, so somebody point on the map too. So we have America, Alaska, and then Greenland. Canada is now circled by the United States. It's circled
Yeah,
by. So Justin Trudeau, Mark Carney, you got nowhere to hide. Like,
yeah.
why
But
would you?
also like South America, you're
Yeah,
also attached to, it's all one
land.
huge
Yeah,
lot
same with
of
Europe.
land.
Europe is all one
Yeah,
land. And I
one
will
land.
say, I do, with that being said, Canada, if you do become a part of the United States, the United States, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. And that's a really
Mhm.
important difference because
Yeah,
we don't believe in mob rule. So every state has its own voice, basically, is how that works. I won't get into it.
yeah.
So if Canada were to become a part of the United States, you would still be Canadians. You would still have
That's right.
people in Europe like to make fun of Americans because a lot of Americans don't travel that much to Europe. Well, first of all, Europe is tiny compared to the United States.
Yeah.
Americans travel within America. It is a longer flight. For me to fly to Los Angeles from Atlanta is a longer flight than I'm closer to London than I am to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's how big our country is. And so many people travel to the United States, and every single state, every single region has a different culture, has a
Mm.
different customs. It's like
Yep.
different
Sure does.
different
Yep. Love
language.
it.
And
Love
so
it.
and so we all continue to carry that on even as one federal nation. And so for our Canadian, I really want to emphasize that for our Canadian patriots that are watching, don't be afraid because you have friends in America that will help you and that will come and support you and that will stand beside you so that you as Americans, we don't believe in a monarchy. We believe in individual. Most Americans from my generation and older hold this piece of paper to be one of the most important pieces of papers because we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Liberty in this sense means land. So every human being is entitled to their land. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. So for all people around the world, you are your government. You are your country. For the
Yeah.
Australians, for the Canadians, the South Africans, the New Zealanders, the British people, your government doesn't make your culture. You do. Your
Yeah.
ancestors do. And you have a right. So if any country anywhere wants to, I know Australia One Party with Ricardo Bosi is working on that in Australia. These are grassroots efforts. And so that's what made me mad in lockdown why did they close a lot of these bars or pubs as they're called in the UK? Where do revolutions start? They start at the corner store. They start at the
Yeah.
corner grocery store. They start in the bar with people talking.
Yeah.
So you can do this. You can do this to all the Canadian patriots, to all the Australian patriots, to all the British, South African. Give your consent that you want the monarchy taken down, and it will start to go down. And we will be there to support you in a heartbeat because
Yeah.
we want you to have I want every person in the world, Teymara, to have a fabulous life. I
Yeah.
want every person to have liberty and happiness. And one thing I did hear a Canadian patriot say that about immigration, and I was like, he is so right. This Canadian guy that was uh, protesting in Canada with all the immigration. And he said something, I'm paraphrasing it. We're not against immigration. If you want to come move here and be a Canadian or be an American, great, we'll welcome you. What we oppose is invasion. Immigrants don't come waving their own country's flag.
Yeah. Talk to
Invaders,
me. Yeah.
invaders do. You're being
Yeah.
invaded. We're all being invaded, and we got to band together to help each other out. And so, with that being said, you guys, let me know if you're from Alberta. Please contact either me or Teymara or any one of us to let us know. And if you want to come on a show, my email is my channel name. It's esotericatlanta@gmail.com. Super easy. It's just my channel name. And Tamara's contact is down below. I would love to talk to people in Alberta and have you either, if you don't want to come on a show, that's totally fine. But if you want to be our insider and let us know what's going on from the ground floor, we would really
Yeah.
appreciate that because that
Yeah.
gives us information to know how to support you in the best way possible so that you
Yeah. Yeah. And also like the people over there in New York, it's like I really, really would love to be on the show with your
I'll
person
contact
that's
her.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see if she wants to do it because it's sad. New York is one of the greatest cities on the planet. It's a
Yeah.
melting pot of culture. It's innovation, it's art, and to have this happen is sad. And it's funny. Tomorrow I have a friend also in the outs who grew up in New York, and he has said specifically that people who are from New York, like they're from there, they're not transplants, they're from there. They're all very conservative people. It's the transplants that come there that change that has made it how it is. And so that
Yeah.
invasion has made it
Yeah.
how it is. And so, well, this has been such a great show, Teymara. Also, guys, remember to check out Ricardo Bozy for all of our Australians. Even if you're not Australian, again, we're here to support each other because we're all fighting the same fight, and we believe everybody deserves to be free and independent and happy. And so make sure you check out the Australia One Party, their website, as well as their RUMBLE channel. And I'll put a link to Ricardo's book down in the description box below as well. And yeah, is there anything else, Teymara, before we sign out for the day?
No, no, I think that's it. I think we've knocked it on the head. Oh, I just wanted to say thank you so much, because I received something here, and it's from one of our followers that sent me the most stunning card with like her kids and everything else, because I've done some work with her in regard to, so they have, their soul reading charts done, but then they have it done on their children as well. And I got just the most wonderful card from them. It was just amazing. And I came home from doing some shopping yesterday, and there was this huge big box at my front door. And I went, oh, well, hello, okay, what's this? So took it in. It was from my bestie who lives in LA. And I opened it up, and she sent me a whole new set of luggage. And it is silver, and the wheels turn like 360 degrees. And I said, I've received this from you. She goes, yeah. I said, do you think I should be doing some traveling? Do you?
Is that a subtle way of saying get your ass over to the United States?
It's like she didn't sort of say to me, and she said, it's your belated birthday present. And I went, right, okay. And you want a birthday present? You want me over? You want me
Is there an airline ticket in this? Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what somebody said. Was there an airline ticket stuck away in a corner somewhere?
That is
Like,
well,
okay,
if
I
you go to
know.
California, I'll fly and meet you there.
Well, I just said to her, if I was going to be flying anywhere, it's like it will be to my second home. It would be to my second home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just miss them.
One thing I forgot to say, speaking of heaven, and we want you, listen, Teymara, if you come to the United States, we'll do a tour. We'll do, how funny would that be, you guys? We can film it. We'll rent an RV and we'll just drive all over the United
Oh
States.
my God, that'd be amazing.
We'll go all over the United States to,
Yep.
to see a bunch of, to see some Australians and Southerners and snow. That would be a sight for sore eyes.
But also it's like, with our listeners, it's like, okay, write in, where do you live?
We'll
And
make
like
that,
get a whole lot of people together, and
we'll drive up to Canada too. We'll go see our Canadian,
and
well.
we'll do a meet and greet.
Yep, absolutely. Well, one thing I forgot to say that I'll say to helpfully inspire people, we talked about her off, and I'm going to be doing a show with Paula on Monday, my other Australian sister, on Monday at 6:30 a.m. about her, Alyssa Liu. If this story does not inspire you,
Yep.
to have courage and to stand up for what's right.
That girl, it's like, and when they were talking about her, and I went, oh my God, her father went from there to there. Oh my God. And how she turned around and said to the CCP, shove it.
Yeah. Kiss my star-spangled ass. Y'all, her father was part of the resistance to the CCP. He was in the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Yep.
He after that had to get out of China, came to the United States as an asylum seeker with nothing. Became a lawyer. He works with immigration now, and he's living the American dream. Had his children, Alyssa, his oldest daughter, at 16. She made it to the Beijing Olympics to skate for the United States. The CCP contacted her and said, hey, we'll offer you millions and millions if you come, because she's of Chinese heritage, if you come and skate for us. She said, no, thanks. I'm an American. Screw you guys. And she talked about the human rights violations that China has, the concentration camps, all that kind of stuff. After she turned them down at 16, she got stalked by the CCP. Her and her
Yep.
father and her siblings were brutally stalked by the CCP in America, so much so that the FBI had to get involved to protect them. It burnt her out, and it affected her so deeply that she retired for 2 years. At 18, she came back to ice skating, and she just won gold for the United States. And so
Because yeah,
if
she's
that
gold.
she
She's
is
gold.
gold. What an
Yep.
incredible young 20-year-old
Yep.
woman. Her that I cried watching her freestyle. She was so relaxed on the ice, and she was just so, as Tara Lipinski said in commentary, it was almost like she was playing on the ice. And that freedom to not let the CCP get to her, to go and show the world how she can skate and celebrate the freedom. She put her hand over her heart for the national anthem. And at the end, the crowd went wild when she mouthed the last line in "Home of the Brave," and she said "at Home of the Brave." The crowd went wild. You saw her. It makes me emotional. Her father was in the audience with his American God going, "Wow, wow!" Her siblings. And so, if you are feeling scared of facing up against this gross entity, just channel your inner Alyssa Liu. If she could stand up against the CCP, we can stand up against our own governments.
Yep.
For sure. So
Got it.
anyway,
All
guys,
right.
I guess we'll see you guys. We'll see what happens. You guys know for sure we'll be doing an April roundup at the end of the month, but if we'll probably be doing more show, even more stuff happens.
Yeah, I think so. Like, and the thing is, if people want to see us and want us to do a show, just make contact with us, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
just go, right, all of this has happened, and we really require some support from you and Bryce. So like, can you please do a show?
If you're from a country that has stuff going on and we haven't covered it, it's probably because we haven't gotten the news. And so absolutely, my platform is absolutely open to anybody who has a story to tell and wants the support. You just got to reach out, and we'll make that happen. So
yeah.
All righty. Well,
Good.
all right, guys. We'll
All
see you
right.
guys later then.
So we will say see you later. We will talk to you all, see you all very, very soon. And then Bryce and I are going to ring off now, and then we're going to have a talk.
Yeah, stay on because it's going to play the outro. Stay on, go backstage, and then we'll talk. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye, all.